What's up, everybody? It's Tony with the Mississippi Pickers coming back at you with another vlog. This is going to be a really short one. This is just a follow-up to the last vlog that I posted. And I was just asking the question of you guys, what do you do with clothing that's got like a small hole in it from these little tags? I don't know if you saw it in the last video, but I showed these little guys. I don't know if you can see that. These little tags that Goodwill and Salvation Army and some of the other thrift stores, they put through the clothing to kind of date it so that they know when to mark it down. Or they'll say, you know, certain clothing, if it's got that particular color, I'm just going to call it a tag because I don't know what those things are called. But if it's got that color tag in it, then you should, you know, it's a certain price. So if, you know, it might be their 99-cent ones. It might be, there is something in this room that is beeping. I don't know if you can hear that. I don't know what it is. There's something beeping and I can't find it. You hear that? It goes off at the same time every day. It's got to be either a watch or an old phone. I'm just hoping it runs out of power soon. Anyway, where was I? We're talking about these tags. Anyway, I asked the question, what do you do about it? And I think it was Alabama Pickers came on there, and he said, have you tried stretching it, you know, in different directions to see if that will alleviate the problem, maybe to kind of, you know, put the material back together. That does work on some material. Man, that's really annoying. It does work on some material, but on I found that on cotton it doesn't work on because I don't. It seems like it cuts through the threads on cotton, which, you know, it just leaves a hole, and there's just no way to fix it because it's actually busting through those threads. It seems like other materials, and I don't really know, I haven't made a list of the materials that it doesn't affect, but I showed you one the other day that it didn't affect. Now I didn't go over what kind of material that was because I didn't know, and we'll leave that for another time. The thing is, I said, I don't know what do you do with this stuff? Do you either list it or do you chunk it? And what I decided to do was, with that shirt I had, that Life is Good shirt that I showed you, and I'll show it at the end of the video so you can see it. But I decided to go ahead and list it, and it sold. Now, I didn't get a whole lot of money for it. Now, I made about $13 off of it. I sold it for $12. Buy it now, and then I made about $1 off of the shipping. So I made about $13 on it, so not terrible, and it had a hole in it. Now, I mentioned in the ad on eBay that it had a hole in it, and they still bought it. So apparently, even if stuff's got a hole in it, and I had another shirt that had stains on it. They were really light stains. So I guess it all depends on where it is and how bad it is. Now, the shirt had the stains on it. They were really light stains. They were like near the armpit on one side of the front of the shirt, and they weren't barely visible. And the Life is Good shirt had a hole in it near the collar, and it wasn't really that visible. I mean, if you were looking for it, you could probably find it, but if you didn't know it was there, you probably would never see it. So, I guess it all depends on the placement of the hole in the shirt. How visible is it? If it's something, you know, really visible, maybe that's something that you just can't do anything with. But if it's in a place that's kind of hidden, then maybe a hole or a stain isn't that big of a deal. So I guess that would be the deal breaker there. If it's in a really visible place where it's gonna, you know, your eyes are automatically gonna, you know, just go straight to that, then maybe it's not a good idea to list that kind of stuff. Maybe that stuff is you can either redonate or just chunk, whatever your preference is there. But I think that's what we're looking at, because from now on, when I'm buying stuff, if I see that it's got a hole in it, from one of those little tags especially, I'll be looking where the tag is and what kind of material it is. So that will kind of determine for me, whether I want to continue with the purchase or not. Because some of the stuff is really expensive, clothing, but then they just ruin it, with a hole. How bad is it ruined? That's the question, Or they get a stain on it somewhere. How bad is the stain? How visible is it? So I guess those are the questions you really have to ask. And I guess I'm making this vlog more for me than I am for you guys, but I'm just kind of sharing what I'm learning as I'm going along here. I mean, I've been doing this for 8 years, and I'm still learning stuff all the time. This is something that I have struggled with all over these years. What do you do with stuff that you run into like this? Normally, I just throw it to the side. But, here lately, I've been trying to go through some of this older merchandise and trying to either make a decision on whether just to ditch it or list it. And yeah, I think that's, if it's not that visible, then it's okay to go ahead and list, and just make sure that you put it on your listing and let the customer decide. Now, I don't think you can get a premium price for stuff that's got a hole or a stain on it, because the stuff that I sold, one was $12 and one was, I think, $8.95. But still a profit, profit's a profit. I mean, I only paid $1 for them, so it's a pretty good profit for a dollar item. Anyway, just wanted to throw this up real quick, share that with you guys, and hopefully if you run across this problem, maybe this will help. But like I said, mostly I'm just documenting this for myself, so that when I forget about this, in the next 10 days, I can go back and watch my own video and say, hey, yeah, that's what I decided to do. I appreciate you guys watching my videos, and if you enjoyed this, leave it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Bye.